What is up, everybody? Your boy Robbie Dagger coming at you with a very extra especial episode of Mobius with the Dreamer Society. It is the first Dreamer Society freaking podcast. I'm super hype. We have launched, you guys. So I want to take this time to thank everybody who could be with me. I've got what is it? 6 special warriors of light here. I want to introduce every single one of them. Let's just start from the top. Let's start with Trigga City. Why don't you start it off for me, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? So I'm Trigga City. I've been in the game since launch, which was August. I've been mostly a free-to-play player, but since time, I kind of start throwing a little money at Square Enix, so I'm more of a bottom feeder right now, baby fish. So that's probably me. Thanks.
All right, how about Eclipse? Let's go with you.
Hey, I'm Eclipse. Gbot 10, the troll. I've been playing for a while since Soldier came out, and free to play, completely free to play.
Very nice. Well, let's go with you, Oregon. How about yourself?
About myself, I'm Morgan. I've been playing for the past 2 months. I'm a free-to-play player, and I've been trying my best with every card we can get in the game. And I won't throw any money for not Square Enix. That's about it.
Very nice. Very interesting so far. Now, how about you, Inu?
Alright, so, yeah, my name is Inu. Some people know me as Sin of Greed. I've been playing since, I don't know, like the end of September, maybe the beginning of October. And I'm sort of free to play, every now and then. I'd say like $20 into it, but not really much. And I have a Beast Dragoon, that's all I can say.
Very, very nice. How about you, Angel Crisis? Let's go with you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Angel Crisis here. I am apparently a fucking whale. No, it's cool. I've been playing since December. It's been some time. Pretty cool. Appreciate being on the stream here as well. Thank you, Robbie Dagger, for letting us all be a part of this awesomeness, this awesome podcast. So, thank you.
Oh, anytime. And last but not least, let's go with Peter.
Hello there. Hi, I'm Peter. Like I said, I've been playing Mobius since day one. When it launched back in August, I think that was the case. Like I said, I'd rather be free to play, but unfortunately, like since around February, like I've actually been putting quite a bit of money in, like, so I guess technically I would be classed as a whale to a certain degree. And yeah, I'd rather not be. But anyway, happy to be here.
All right, very excellent. Very, very nice to have each and every one of you guys here to talk about the state of. So the issue here we've come into, you guys, is just let us discuss the state of global as it is. We've lost a lot of good warriors of light. Let's just get that out there right now. Dang it!
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah,
We've lost a lot of good walls.
Oh, man.
It hasn't been fun to watch them go, but a lot of them haven't made it. A lot of them have gone over to the JP side, and let's just start talking about that. First of all, Angel Crisis, I know you have a lot to say on this. What do you think? What do you think about
I
that?
think that Square Enix needs to go blow a huge whale, and like seriously, no, seriously, like I'm like really upset that like when I stream on Twitch, and I'm pretty sure you too, Robbie. But well, Robbie, you get this problem as well. When I stream on Twitch, I have a deficit of attackers. Attackers, the main role in
Wow.
all of fucking Mobius. attacker. I do not have any attacker roles to play MP with. And I have probably 20 plus viewers in the stream, and it's like, whoa, like damn, everybody, all I see is everybody talking about, oh, we're gonna go over to the JP side, and that's cool and awesome. And I definitely have no hate towards that, because you know global is sucking major whale. I don't want to say where, but it is sucking some major whales. So it's pretty crappy, man. I don't know. I feel pretty bad about it.
So have you seen some kind of shift in the last few days or weeks where you've seen that you've had a party, say you've had the chat full and the party's full, and you're running lots of you're basically training MP runs, basically using other people's stamina, which is always the best thing to do ever. Have you seen any kind of shift in any of that?
So again, when I have the 20 plus viewers, keep saying streamers. When I have the 20 plus viewers in the stream, um, there is times where I have the multiplayer going for more than maybe 5 to 10 minutes, waiting just for like 2 slots to be filled. When before it was just like stream starts, boom, everybody's ready to go for some MP, and we're all down to fucking have a good time and chill. And it's definitely been a drought uh as far as multiplayer goes, and also we've been having a pretty bad crystal drought, in my opinion,
Oh
as well.
yes,
Crystal
Boy, the
absolutely.
drought is
crystals.
absolutely real right now.
I'm trying to get
Um,
some myself right now. So
I'd like to get a. Angel Crisis considered himself a whale, or somewhere around there, somewhere around that pool in the water. I'd like to get a completely free to player, so
Dolphin,
we'll go with
whale.
Eclipse. How do you feel about the state of global right now compared to
um,
JP?
it's uh, I mean, as a free to play player, the job the job system that they're implementing is kind of good for us. But for some people,
I'd use kind of good loosely.
Oh.
loosely, kind of good, loosely. It could use some work, right? But you can get cards and jobs at the same. Really good for free to play players, because right now we have to choose from either getting ability cards or getting jobs. It's kind of hard to decide which one to get.
That is
I
true.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
definitely, absolutely.
I'll say this though, and I'm sorry to take the mic away from you, Eclipse.
That's fine.
When I first started playing Mobius, I never rolled for jobs. I never rolled for jobs. It was just straight, oh, I got 6 summoning tickets, I'm gonna go for greater ability summon. And in a way, I do like the new job system, but then it's also kind of like, damn, you gotta go all the way to like, you know, to the eighth pool to get a
Yeah,
guaranteed job. So that is kind of like it needs some
yeah,
work on.
definitely. Yeah, it
I
definitely needs
know I
work.
think Peter had actually some good ideas on what SC could have done. I think it was Peter. I'm not 100% sure.
Now let's go with
Um,
Peter, actually, yes.
right, right. So anyway, just to sort of give context behind, why this sort of discussion sort of came up. It was a discussion I had earlier on the Discord with Enemy Anubis, who he wrote on the actual Discord itself like that he was a bit miffed in terms of when he was playing through multiplayer for 4 star, because the things that were kind of happening was that the people that he wanted to join just instantly disbanded straight away before he could even get started with anything. And then if he did manage to get into a match, people would just bail, like if they weren't getting the result that they were expecting. So I basically asked him, what was up and all that sort of stuff, and that's what he explained like that. It just seemed that people like just wanted other players with supreme cards, and if you didn't have a supreme card of some sort, whether it be an Aerith or whether it be a new X Death or whether it be a Duncan, that they weren't interested in you. And I was just thinking that's kind of an unfortunate situation that's actually occurred right now. Since the debut of actual Supreme Card since January, starting with Minwu and then with Aerith and then obviously, and gone beyond since then, we're effectively getting a Supreme Card every month, and that's kind of broken the game to a certain degree in terms of what happens in 4-star multiplayer matches, and of course like whatever happens in like, the sort of tower battles as well. And to be honest, it's just kind of getting out of hand. The way that SE Global are actually handling this situation at the moment.
You do pose a very, very interesting predicament when you bring up the Supreme cards that we've gotten, and how they've kind of changed the meta. Oregon, do you have anything to kind of add to this?
Yeah, well, the way I see the game right now, I didn't have a chance to go on the Jap server, but based on all the game I have played for the last 20 years, yeah, I'm a old man. Uh, the way this game worked right now on global is they give you a taste of what the game could actually be, and basically playing a game is meant to have fun, and the learning curve of this game is so short once you get to know the people and you share the tips, that the content that you have on global is not enough to keep people playing the global when they know that on the other side of the fence, instead of being driving a Ford Fiesta, they have a goddamn Ferrari or something like that. And everybody's on the same floor except here right now. Those that are free to play player and then didn't get a chance to summon get supreme cards. Well, there's the gap between the people with the supreme and the people that don't have a supreme card is huge, and basically make the game completely unbalanced and make people wanting to go on the Jap server because everybody has the same chance. And after all people want is to they have free time. They want to enjoy their free time. They just don't want to be stuck somewhere turning around. Not because the game is hard, because they cannot go further uh, due to economic issue or because they made a choice. Question of principle. Like I have the money, but I want to invested in a game where one chord can change the entire game. But if everybody has Duncan and multiplayer, for an example, it's 3 minute, 2 3 minute run. When actually the fun part is to have a good fight with level one. I don't know, can have one good fight and you don't need supreme cards because the gap is too big between a regular player and those with the supreme. And that's why everybody are going to Japanese server because they have a chance. And the way Asian gaming see gaming, they want to they want people to have fun. And for some reason, the global version seems to be asking people money. I don't know. The economic vision is different between Japanese and global. It's huge. It's all about money. On the other side, it's all about fun. So they don't have the same vision, and
Yeah,
it's
you
the same company.
absolutely. I was gonna say you definitely bring up an excellent point when you bring up the power gap between the players that always ends up growing, as a gotcha game will end up kind of growing. Trigga City, what do you have to say about the environment right now between JP and the global, if
Yeah.
anything?
So, I put my business hat on. So I was reading the site that talks about mobile gaming, and there's a rule for gotcha games called 0-1-100. And what that rule is a model that these game companies use, is meaning 0 is the free to play players, 1 is people that are enjoy the game but willing to spend $1 or $2 to boost their player up or their experience, and 100, which is normally the whales. And in a sense, you gotta have a balance of that. The whales need the free to play players because the free players is the masses, versus you need the whales because the whales are spending the money to keep the game running. And also in between that gray area, the ones, which is the dolphins or people that spend $1 or $2. So you gotta have a balance, and if you have a balance, it makes the game successful and longevity. And kind of like what everyone's saying, like Peter and Gordon was saying, there's this power creep, and I think Square Enix is thinking so short term with those Supreme cards, playing it so early in global versus Japan, which the Japanese version is a year ahead of us, that it was too early for those Supreme cards, I think. But again, I think they were thinking so short term. We got here our targets. Let's get the revenue. Let's get the profits. And that's where like there's some concern for the long term of this game.
Freaking a bunch of excellent points brought up there. You definitely need the money to keep the game going. So that's kind of where the Supreme cards and the power gap kind of comes in to play. Even the free-to-play players have to admit that they want a great game as well. And that's the only reason I can see anybody investing any money into the game is because they like the game and they want to see a better game. Inu, what do you have to say about Global versus JP?
Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna start where I was saying. All right, so I like to say that right now, like Global is at a position where we are. I think we're currently pay to win. Currently, like it's not currently pay to win because I'm pretty much free to play, but I have like pretty good job. I mean, I have a pretty good setup, but it's more of like you have to pay in order to get the good cards that you want. Because no matter how many times you pull, you're like with Angel's video, he had how much magicite?
He
Around
began with
200K?
about 300k of matricide.
300K magicite,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah,
spent
somebody frame this
about
up for me. Basically, this poor gentleman started with 300,000 magicite, ended up
Yep.
spending how much?
Great. Yep. About 220.
220?
220K.
That ain't
Yes.
right. That ain't right. I don't care what
It's
anybody
not.
says. That ain't right.
No.
It's not
That
right
is
for
not
Way
right.
too
me
much.
as a whale. It's not right for me. And on top of that, I feel like it discourages more. And another thing is that I liked about the video was that if anything, it brought some type of awareness to the meanings of magicite. By that I mean that watching that video, right? You're just gonna sit there and be like, "Well, holy fucking crap! I'm not gonna go to that level like this guy just did, and I'm not gonna support the game like this." And in a sense, it's a good thing, in my opinion.
It is awesome to see. If you guys haven't seen Angel Crisis 01 on YouTube, he's got a really sweet. I mean, I don't want to call it really sweet, but it is a really good video. It is exactly what he's talking about. It's the one where he pulls Duncan. If you guys haven't checked that out, you can totally check it out on his YouTube. But yeah,
It's very cringy. I'll
Definitely a
give a
wake up
fair
call.
warning.
Yeah, it
It's
was
a,
bad.
and if anything, if it is a wake up call for most of the the community, then I feel like in a sense it's a good thing for the awareness of that because all right, so my thing is you see let's say like other streamers or maybe players that you talk to on Discord and blah blah blah. They say, "Oh, I just pulled such and such Supreme, whatever Supreme is out at the time, and one pull or two pulls or three pulls." And then
Mhm.
you watch a video like mine's, and you're like, "Well, holy shit, maybe I won't be as lucky as that guy who just pulled once, twice, or three times." You know what I'm saying? So it's like it kind of gives you a reality check, in my opinion.
that's huge. That's actually pretty huge of you to say because that's an excellent point. You know what I mean? Like, there's a what is it? A 0.6% chance.
Uh,
0.6
Zero
guys.
point zero eight
Oh,
percent chance for
0.08?
gas and greater ability. Yeah.
Can I add something?
0.08?
I
Can I add
think it's
something
zero
to
point
that?
zero 0.08 or 0.8. Yeah, you go
I
ahead,
think
Trigger.
Yeah, so real quick, that when you touch on this, that's the difference between global and Japanese version, right? You probably guys heard about how Japan has enforced laws to force these game companies to publish the rate of pulling certain cards because it was for society, for their society, versus global, because there's no imposed rules or laws, that you look at their news, they say a low rate because they're not forced to put the actual percentage. And that's when you start saying, okay, what's wrong with this company? And it's kind of cringy, right? If you think of it.
Yeah, it is.
So you
Agreed.
can see the
Yeah.
contrast between the two.
It's an
And it
absolutely
also
wonderful
leaves a
point.
lot of unanswered questions on Square Enix's side, because as far as global goes, what if it's someone who's only been playing global their entire time playing? You know what I'm saying? Never heard of JP and has only been playing global. They don't know that actual percentage, whether it's 0.08 or 0.8%. They don't know the actual percentage because that actual percentage is listed on the Japanese server. And on top of that, who knows if that's the actual percentage for global?
Yeah,
Right.
that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Yeah.
I gotta give credit too for like just the player base here, because a lot of these guys that play the game actually put in the motivation effort to actually collect sample data. It may be not 100% representation, but it give us some idea as a player base. Like if you go on Reddit and you go on our social sites, that kind of give us an idea of what we think is those numbers. So just want to shout that out.
Definitely.
Mm,
It's a good shout out.
absolutely. We have our good associate Explosion, the legend himself, in the chat saying of something very,
I,
very
I,
valid.
I, I want to add something that you guys were talking about, and you forgot. You know, there's a lot of places in the world, including Japan and where I live in Canada, that everything the gambling is illegal, or if you gamble, they need to write down how much percentage chance you have to win. Behind a little ticket here, you see how many chance you have. But everywhere where you don't have those law applying, that include casino and stuff like that, they can do whatever they want. And a game like Final Fantasy Mobius Global hosting here where I live, they would not have the right to host the game because they don't show how much percentage chance to win to really win the supreme card. So just by doing that in most states in most countries it's illegal. So those games with that kind of host, that kind of summoning chance of winning something without showing stuff. Actually, they're being hosts where there's a legal paradise. I don't know, you know the expression where they can act paradise where there's no law applying. And I will be really, I'm really interested to know where actually the global server are hosted. They're probably hosted in one of those countries where they don't have to show the percentage of chance of winning actually something in a game. And in Japan, that's why the government they ban gambling and stuff like that. They have a lot of problem in those society about gambling. So that's why they're forcing people to show the percentage of chance of winning something. It's society. That's the way they work there.
Okay, so Anton Mueller, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? I know you came a little late to the party, but how do you feel about them having to? Should they have to show us the percentage like they do in some other countries? What do you feel? What do you feel about that?
Yes, definitely. And sorry, I forgot about the timing. I was in the JP version, and I fully agree. They must really show us what percentage we can get, and yeah, give us a bit more value for our money. I myself also put I'm a dolphin. I'm not a whale, but still,
I
I
see.
spent quite a few rands on this game, and didn't really get anything good.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that
Double
they
twin.
should really show us what's our chances.
Yeah, I really think that if they show us our chances of like at least getting a Supreme card for global, it'll show me at least is it worth it to summon this like right now, or should I just save up and continue waiting for the next one, or just wait until they all come out? I
Hmm.
think they did this like currently, just so that way they don't post any percentage, just so that way they think that they can get people to summon the card because although they don't know the percentage, they're gonna summon for it because they know they just might get it. They just might be the one.
Yeah, I think that's the whole problem is that the way that it's currently steered towards in terms of summoning supreme cards, especially like it seems at the moment like it's definitely once a month. So they'll know for a fact that people will, the ones that really want to at least try for these cards will, they'll desperately try and put money into money into the game itself, often spending, hundreds of dollars, even thousands of dollars in some really crazy cases. Like and the unfortunate situation is that they may never see, they may never have, they may never attain that particular supreme card, whatever's released that particular month, and yet the next month they'll probably try again, for whatever the next thing that comes out. So
Yeah, I think the thing with Supremes is that, like with Angel's video, like he spent more than like 200, he spent more than 200K Magistite, and
yeah,
based off the value like that is showed from Mobius in like Magistite purchasing, that is way more than $100, since 12,000 is worth at least $36, $38. And so I think the thing is, in order for it to make a little bit fair, they should at least make it so that way you have a guaranteed chance of pulling it. Maybe at like your 16th pull or something, your 12th pull. So that way they at least gain a lot of money, but then we don't have to get nothing at all to show for it.
yeah. You're basically referring to the actual pity, the pity summon, as it were. Which, to be honest, like that's the only thing that they've kind of implemented. In the current system, the way that they're currently remodeling the actual the Greater Supreme Summon, which obviously used to be the Greater Ability Summon, is the actual, how jobs are actually part of the actual pull. And the thing you'll probably notice on the actual banner itself is it's got like a count, it's got like a sort of a count on the actual thing, starting from 8. And obviously, if you don't pull a job at any particular point, that just constantly counts down to the point that when you get to your 8th pull, that's when you'll get the pity summon. That's not just for a job. That's got nothing to do with legend jobs, and certainly got nothing to do with supreme cards or anything like that. But that's still like a lot of money just for a normal job.
So
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Robbie, I saw a pretty good comment coming from Explosion, and you being the humble host that you are, would actually like you to read it out loud, because this is your stream. This is, you know what I'm saying. This is,
I
I don't
totally
want to
lost the
trump that.
comment. Do you have it?
I actually do. So I guess if I
Please
have
read
the
it.
permission,
Yes,
I'll read
thank
it.
you very much.
So Explosion said, so one thing people have to remember is that gotcha games equals gambling. You aren't gambling for money, but for a virtual item. And I
It's
think that is spot on. Fucking spot on.
Yeah,
for
That's
sure.
something every single one of us has to remember, whether you're free to play,
At the
whether you're
end of the
pay to
game, at
play.
the end of the day. Yep.
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta remember,
Mhm.
none of this stuff is tangible, which means you can't actually, you don't get anything for, no matter how well you do in Mobius, no matter how much you pay into
There's no
Mobius, no
prize.
matter, yeah, exactly, there's no prize, you're not getting a t-shirt, you're not getting a fancy
Like
art book
That'd be
for
cool.
spending all
That'd
this
be
like
cool.
money, you're not getting
this isn't
a,
e-sport.
it's just the way it is. You gotta remember, like, none of these cards are physical. If they sent us physical cards every once in a while for like every $100 spent or something, I think that would be pretty dope. That'd be a really good promotion for them. But right now they're not doing much like that. And from right now, I would definitely advise people to kind of look ahead, save your stuff, save your resources, and kind of look ahead to something you might want in the future. For me, for instance, I'm like I know a lot of people are looking forward to the Sephiroth job, so you could save a lot of your resources for the Sephiroth job for when that comes out, and kind of look at this stuff just as it is, but don't get too involved. Don't The hype train is real when it comes by, you guys. It's everybody wants to jump on board, but
Yeah,
once
once it's
the
gone,
hype
it's
is
gone.
like look how much hype there is still for the Minwoo card, you guys. Look at how much hype there is for the Minwoo card. Minwoo's dead, totally
Yep.
dead, and
Yep.
it goes the same with all the cards that fly by, except for Aerith, and
Yeah.
something needs to happen with that Aerith. I think everybody agrees with
Everybody
that.
needs it. Everybody
Eric
needs
is
that.
Bay.
Yeah.
They got the perfect combination. They got the gambling thing, and they got the collector thing. So it's a pathology. So people get addicted, and they just do it and do it and do it again, just like a slot machine.
Oh yes, and you know there's a huge gambling component to this, to all this gaming. You know they study slot machines and the delay that slot machines have. All that stuff is well studied, well documented.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
they're using a lot of that science, and you have to be aware of that as well. When you're going into games like this, so you kind of you kind of have to err on the side of caution, and it always pays to be patient with games like this. But I do want to ask kind of one final question. And I want to ask Eclipse, as a free-to-play player, Eclipse, what do you hope to see change, if anything, in the global community between now and August, when the job summon goes completely away?
Well, I would hope they would give us maybe like on Japan they have that cheap summon for the new jobs for free to play. That would be a good thing to add for new players joining the game.
Hmm. So something like a like some kind of benefit or something for newer players. Does
Like a
anybody else have
promotion
anything to
for new
add to
Yeah,
players to
that?
join.
like a promotion summon.
Yeah, I think for new and returning players, or
Yeah, I would,
maybe like how they used to do with veteran players. Veteran players also get something like a one free summon, which is like 5 star or something, and that would also bring in more new players and returning players. So that way, they can make
yeah.
whatever amounts of money, while also we benefit from it. Like us free to play players also benefit from it.
I see.
Interestingly enough, obviously, one of the things we have seen, I think this might have been back in January. I can't remember what it was, but there was the whole sort of welcome back campaign that they are clearly running, and which they do seem to be running again this time round as well. But obviously, like there was the whole discussion about how they've gone about it, like which has been a bit, it's been a bit skeevy with the way that they're trying to get the community itself to advertise on their behalf on this second round of welcome back. And
Yeah.
I know that discussion has actually, that discussion has actually come up, and I think even I was watching a video this morning from Lotus Moon, and he commented on as well on how slimy that was in terms of how they're actually handling the situation at the moment.
Especially with the morale as it is. I don't know if the developers actually understand like the morale situation.
So can I add something on
Of
real quick
course.
before you guys continue your conversation?
Hmm?
I just want to
Yeah.
throw in
Yeah.
a little comment, guys. Guys, I just want to put this out there. For those of you who have gone to the dark side,
Mhm.
for those of you who have gone to the dark side,
Yes.
do not forget that we, as streamers, me and Robbie, I'm pretty sure feels pretty strongly about this as well, need you guys to be here with us in the global community, even if it's so fucking shitty and it's crappy as hell and it sucks and it's like, damn it, you know, global fucking sucks. Come through to chill with us, guys,
Hey,
because
I'm still
we
here.
need you, dude. We fucking need
Definitely.
you awesome people.
It's
For real,
okay.
for
I
real.
have one foot in the light side, one foot in the dark side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah,
Join us to the dark side.
So I just wanted to add that quick comment before anything.
Yeah, whether you consider global the light side or the dark side, and you could go either way, honestly. Um,
You definitely could.
we the streamers need you for sure, you guys. The streamers need you. And all the content creators. Mobius is still a pretty small community. Everybody who's making content for Mobius is just doing it out of love for Mobius. So make
Seriously.
sure you represent. Give them a thumbs up, share their videos, subscribe to them even if they kind of suck. Even if they do videos you kind of don't like, just show them a little support if you can, because that's
You
what's
know,
going to
like
help
my
the Mobius
videos.
community grow. Like, they're just trying to spread the word, really. And usually their content is spot on and they've got, like, just awesome stuff. And if they don't, let them know and they'll be glad to change it.
Yeah, that's some
Yeah.
good shit. Some good shit.
Mhm. Good
Good
points.
shit there. Love that. That was some
So, any
good
closing
knowledge dropped.
comments from anybody? Anybody want to say just anything else before we hit the hay.
They should at least make our 3-star card summon 500 magicite instead of 1,000.
Oh, like how they do it in JP. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
And
Sure.
don't use your dad credit card without permission.
Very good point, Oregon. Very good point.
What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh,
I just want to put out there that Japan is not easier than global. For sure, it's not. It's not a like an easier game. It's just as hard as global. Global's just being a bit of a dick right now. So people are going to Japan.
That's a good point. When watching your wallet, what advice would you give people right now who are playing the global community? Let's go with Trigga City.
Kind of alluded to what Angel said earlier, and watch videos that people do pulls on. You know, when you get, like you mentioned, hype, that's all it really is hype. And you don't have to go crazy, you know, when you don't have the budget for that. So to help calm your nerves, again, what Angel mentioned, check out videos for people that did pulls.
check out my video.
Definitely. And you'll wake up.
You want to get demotivated to do some pulls? Watch my video. It's enough.
And a couple of cold showers, and you'd be good.
Yeah.
Amen
You know
to
what else would
that.
be cool?
Yeah, and don't watch Monkey Mans.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, goddamn.
Well, it's because, let's put that in context. It's because he is lucky as an MF. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
He's
Yeah,
he's
that's
very
the
lucky,
reason.
and I mean, it is one thing. It is one thing when you're watching. You know, it's hard to see that because a lot of people out there, look, they make this game to hit you hard in the gut, in the wallet, if you're a gambler especially. And a lot of people, they see people and they hear about people saying that they're getting pulls in their first try. So guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go and they're gonna turn around and they're gonna try to pull things, and they may, you know, we talked about how easy it is to go over budget in this game. So
Legit.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's hard to watch
Absolutely.
stuff like that, and then like look at Monkey Man's video, and then look at Angel Crisis's video, and you'll see two completely different worlds.
That's
You
the
know what I'm
light and
saying?
dark
For
side.
sure.
You know, all around the globe, no matter where you play, what machine you play, every goddamn player is going to tell you the same thing. They got lucky 7 on the first try.
Yep.
Everywhere. It's
Yeah.
bullshit. I saw people in bar wasting 500 grand an hour. So, no, nobody get lucky
Wow.
7 every time. I worked there. Saw people putting their paycheck. It took 1 hour, no more paycheck. So, no lucky 7. It's gambling.
Yeah.
And I just want to add on to the comment there that Robbie had just dropped on the luck and unluck. So in perspective, when you watch Monkey Man stream and you see him pull that one time and he gets that awesome Supreme, and he goes out and he runs and he's like running outside naked and whatever he does, right? That's awesome, because it in a way it does keep the hope alive in some people to pull a Supreme card, but there's also a limit. So there's a limit, guys. Apparently I don't know that limit.
No, we're Duncan anyway.
Not with Duncan at least, yeah. But for sure though, it is how do you say? There is a limit. And when you do see something like that, like Monkey Man or whoever else you see, like if you see other streamers and they get lucky on their first pull, whatever. It doesn't have to be specifically Monkey Man. It could be anybody. It could be Robbie. It could be Lotus Moon. It could be anybody. It could be Duo Neo. Who else? Who else am I missing? Crap, I know I'm missing a whole shit ton. It could be
One Nut
Explosion.
Wonder does it.
One Nut Wonder. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. It could be any of you guys in the chat right now who could pull a Supreme card right now, right? And then drop it in the Discord, be like, "Oh, look, I just got the Supreme card, blah blah," and that's awesome, because we want to hear that stuff. We want to hear that you guys are having such awesome luck. But then when there is that time for a reality check, just go watch that video because it will give you that reality check. For like, I'm 100% sure it will. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just to calm down.
just to calm down, when you're on your like, maybe you're on your third pool, you haven't seen anything, you're like,
you have to face your demon. Everybody needs to gamble at least one time to know if it's for them or not. Some people like their rush, but after that, you'll see if you get addicted or you don't get addicted.
We don't want anybody to get addicted to the gambling and gotcha around here, you guys. None of that, please
do
no.
not, no. I know.
It's the worst kind of gambling you can do, so please keep that in mind, you guys, when you're
There it is.
throwing money
Gambler's
into this
fallacy.
game.
Yeah.
It's the only
The
kind of
thing is,
gambling in the world you can do where you get nothing in return. So please, you guys, I love this game, but if they're not going to treat the global community to where at least my colleagues aren't as hype as I am when I get online, you guys, then I'm not 100% happy. So I'm gonna fight for the people. You already know. Add me on Twitter. No, what is it? Twitter. On Twitter, I've been blasting Square Enix, you guys. So
Yeah, just
check me out on
everybody
Twitter.
should just right now blast Square Enix.
Yeah, if you
By the way,
guys
guys,
love
before you
mobile,
finish up the video right here, you guys should definitely check out this definition for gamblers fallacy. I don't know how to spell. Well, I'm gonna spell out for you guys. Gambler and then fallacy, Fallacy. That's a definition that you definitely want to check out, guys, because that is some spot on shit. And it was dropped by Explosion. I had read it before and I was trying to look for it, but there is some legit, real shit there when it comes to gambling addictions and stuff like that. So you guys definitely, if you're having troubles with gambling, not just in Mobius, just in general in life, you should definitely check that out because it will give you a fucking reality check.
yeah, thank you, Angel, for putting that out there, just in case, dude. I would hate for anybody to be throwing money at the global version. I'm not saying don't, but I'm definitely saying that we all need to hold back a little bit, to get a better game. I would think, at this point, especially with everybody just
I know I
salty.
will. I know I will.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Square Enix is holding on us, so why not hold on them? They're not giving us the same thing they have on the other side. So they hold, we hold.
It will be interesting to see how things change, though. As we head closer to August, does anybody have any final hopes that they want to lay out there?
Magicite farming.
Yeah, Magic
Site
farming would be
all around
Yeah.
here.
The
That will
Magicite
be quite nice.
Yeah, I would.
Farming for global and a whole shit ton of.
Better PV and multiplayer match, more harder.
Yeah, like I said, with the way that we're looking at things right now, they are, the fact that they're now, they're getting towards matricide farming, pretty much means that, whatever's happening with global right now, it's gotten to a situation now like where they now have to consider that because if the situation was that they could still make people spend like a crap ton of money still, like for Supremes and whatever else that came out, that if that was the case, we would still not be seeing any sort of hint of matricide farm. But the fact that we are getting some hints of that right now and possibly in August, hopefully, gives me at least some hope that we're going to move towards the way that the way that they treat people in on the Japanese version.
Yeah, I really hope so.
So I'll just throw a wrench at this and just say, again, there's two different buckets. There's a global bucket, which is all these countries in one basket, versus the Japanese version, which is really one country. And there's two different playing styles. So I just say, hopefully, yes, Magnite farming, but also too, I also hope that they keep the distiller somehow too, because that will definitely help out the casual players, the people that don't really play as heavily as the hardcore players. So
that's definitely true.
I could actually see the distill being kept if the actual limits for the actual magicite you can actually farm, because just by looking at how things are actually happening right now with the crappy sort of 100 pieces of magicite that you can get from MP SOS, sort of games right now, like that, they'll probably do something similar to that, where the limit will probably be much more lower than it is in Japan, and hopefully they'll probably keep the distiller as a result of that. Since if they don't use the same limits as they do in Japan, then I would probably see them keeping the actual distiller.
Well, my question to that would be, how would they keep the distiller if the distiller, I believe you can only get up to, how much is it? About 1,500, 1,000, something? A month?
It's
You know,
1,000. Wait. It's
144 a day, 24 hours.
No, for the
when it
distiller,
fills
there's
up, it's 100.
It's
Yeah,
100, but for
So
the whole entire month, it would be
it's
3,000?
it
4,400,
4,000.
43,
4,000?
4,400.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then there's that. So I would feel like they would have to cut that in half if we were to keep the Magicite distiller and Magicite farming. I feel like if they were to do something like that, not that they would have to, that they would actually cut it in half. If not, just completely take it out completely.
You know what's bad about Magicite farming is that nothing will could will stop them from, oh, Magicite is easy to get, we'll jack up the price of everything. Or on the other way, they could also just cut the Magicite drop rate. So it could be
There could
could
be a
give
lot of
them a
dumb
reason,
shit going
yeah,
down.
to rise the ship.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You see how bad, like, trying to get crystals is at the moment. Like, it's quite conceivable that they could possibly do the same thing with matricite drops being very limited in the way that it drops.
Yeah, and that's where, this is where we lack transparency from Square Enix, because again, the Japanese version states the rate of getting something versus the global when it doesn't state that. So, like Oregon just said, they say more Maginite, okay, we lower the chances to get certain cards. Again, because of the lack of transparency, we don't know.
Right.
You want to do something really, really funny? Find the IP address of the global server,
Oh
and
God.
from that
Oh
IP
God.
address,
Whoa.
just look what's the country, and you'll see if they have law.
Oh, that'd be
Squicka,
interesting if anybody in the chat or whatever could do that
Yeah,
for us. That would be a little interesting.
some anons.
Yeah. But so we're getting close to an hour, you guys. Does anybody have any just burning desire to say anything about the environment as right now, and any hopes? Let's end it off on a good thing. Let's say what are your hopes going forward into August?
Come back to global, guys. Just come back.
Excellent.
Yeah, they can
Yeah,
also, yeah, go ahead.
Player versus player multiplayer, Mobius. That would be fun.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Trigga City, what do you have to say?
No, just really simple. Just motivate the new players, or the the players that have been there for such a long time, and what is the problem or concerns that all these players are switching over to the Japanese version, and trying to find some solutions for that. Bring it
Peter,
back.
any hopes going into the future? Sorry to cut you off.
No, sorry. Yeah. All I would say to whoever's making the decisions for the global version is that they need to. I'm hoping with the things which are to come is that they, in the end, will give a good reason to bring back to bring in new players, and hopefully bring back the players that have actually have abandoned global and just gone to Japan because the Japanese version, because they feel it's more generous. Bring some of that generosity over to the global side. If you do that, like I think you'll get some of the players back at least. Just make it a bit more generous than it actually is at the moment.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very nicely put.
I like this podcast. It's pretty good.
Anton, do you have anything to add to this?
no, it's basically the same, and just for it to move more towards Japan. Besides the generosity of Japan, there's so much more to do. So introduce some of that new aspects into the global version
I
would be
love that
nice.
idea. Just add some more of that nice stuff that the JP version has. Just throw it at us, because we would love
Yeah,
it.
for sure. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yes.
Eclipse, would you like to add anything?
You guys pretty much said everything I wanted to say. Like, yeah, just want to see more generosity in global. They're just robbing us blind. Well, I mean, free to play, but
Probably me
People
blind.
yeah, people like Angel.
I see what you're saying.
Seeing that, I was like, oh man.
That was definitely a reality check even for me because in my experience, I've been lucky as heck in my pools,
Yeah.
basically, compared to everybody else that I talk to. And it's been amazing having great pools, but I totally understand the frustration. I've totally been there where I've gone overboard on my budget. For instance, I totally did it on Aerith. I only wanted to spend 150, ended up spending like 230, something like that. And
Hey, 230 still
that
not that
never
bad.
felt good. That never felt good to me. And I would say since then I have put money into the game, but not like stupid amounts like that again. But you know, every
Aerith
once in
could
a
have
while I
been a
do get
whole
the
lot
urge when the
worse.
Supremes come out, and I think that happens to everybody. But we all need to check ourselves a little bit, especially in the global environment, and just kind of. At this point, it's important for us to be treated fairly. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people don't feel like they're like our global environment is treating them fairly. So I totally respect that. You know me, I'm gonna hang out with the global environment. I'm sticking with you guys for life. Ain't going
Yes,
anywhere.
sir.
But you know, I totally love the JP version too. That's where it all comes from. So much love to them. But Square Enix, I do feel like in the future they're gonna have to. They need to work on a lot of things. I played a game called Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key. I'm sure a lot of you have played that game before, or if you have, you know, you may know what I'm talking about. But that game went through a huge change at some point in the very early stages of the game in the global version, where they basically created by introducing whale. You know, I say whale cards, but they're like whale medals. Basically, it would be whale cards. By introducing all this, what they did was they made a humongous, insurmountable power gap between the players, between the free-to-play players and the whales. And what they did to try to remedy this was they actually made more content for the whales. What ended up happening was this upsetted even the whales, and right now that game is, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's dead. The game is
Oh my
dead. If you
god.
look it up, it's got like 0 stars on anything you search it up on, just because it's no one's having fun with that game anymore. That's the kind of thing I don't want to see happen to Mobius. The reason I started Mobius Final Fantasy was they were really cool. We were getting a lot of free stuff in the beginning. I love the way you could just have a certain amount of magicite and you would pull a job. So that was pretty sweet. I will say I'm hopeful. I am hopeful towards the future because it is pretty cool. If you guys um have pulled any new jobs, then you know, I know a lot of people have pulled them before the 8 pulls. I know some people, they kind of got screwed and they didn't get it before the 8 pulls, but if they could make that system a little better, a little bit more exciting, so that you're getting a chance at sweet cards and you're also getting a chance at sweet, you know, jobs at the same time, but it's also like a pretty good chance. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. We probably are heading towards more of a JP realm. So keep your hats on tight, keep your booties strapped to the seats. You know what I'm saying? I'm hopeful for the next couple of weeks, you guys. It's only June, so we still got, you know, July, and
Have
then
the whole entire summer.
we'll see August. So hopefully we'll see some new things happen this month. I'm hopeful that we will. I think we are. Fingers crossed, everybody. I'm
Yeah, we
sticking
could.
with you guys for global. I ain't going nowhere. I will keep making stuff. It has been a pleasure. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys who were in the chat. Chat's popping on YouTube and Twitch, so I'm excited. Everybody who was in the stream, all the dreamers. We started out, we were gonna do just 5 people. We ended up at 8, so we bent the rules a little bit. But Angel Crisis, Anton Mueller, Avenger, Eclipse, Oregon, Peter, and Trigga City. It has been a pleasure having you here in this discussion. If you have anything else you would like to say, I would love for you to say it right now.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure.
one
Thanks.
last thing.
Sure,
Pleasure,
yeah.
and one last thing. Mobius is keeping me away from all my other games. Nice games.
Me too,
Hopefully I'll
man.
get back to them.
Very nice. Trigger, were you
Yeah.
going to say something?
No, I said it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Oh, yes, anytime, you guys. Anytime. We will be doing this again. Let us know. Let us know in the chat, in the comments. And let us know if you support this kind of video, you guys. Or this kind of this kind of excuse me, podcast. I got tripped up because we got a subscriber. Very, very nice. Let us know, you guys. I didn't even get to see the name, but Aki, thank you for joining. Let us know, you guys, if you like this kind of video. If you want to see some more podcasts, show us some support. The Mobius community loves you and they need you.
Hey, Robbie.
Yeah, Angel, go ahead.
Sorry, dude. I just want to thank you for having me here, dude. It's appreciate the kind of collaboration between streamers is freaking great. This is why I love the Mobius community. This is why the Mobius community is one of the best communities out there, which is why I love the global community and why I would like to that's how come I started playing JP and global at the same time, because I like just having everybody in just one place because it's awesome. But I definitely do appreciate having me on here, Robbie, because not a lot of streamers would do such cool and awesome things with other streamers, like as far as collaboration goes. And I think it's really fucking awesome. That's why you're the most humblest host that I know, and you're a fucking great dude. I fucking love the Dreamer Society. I always shout it out. So thank you for that, dude.
That makes me want to cry. That's so beautiful, Angel. That's a perfect way to end the show. It really is. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Angel, for saying those beautiful words at the end of the show. I love
Oh,
each
and
and
I'm
every
also
one of you.
streaming in a little bit, so
Yep,
so you guys know.
everybody. It's most likely gonna auto-host you, Angel. But everybody, make sure you check out Angel Crisis' stream. He's about to give away a Dunkin' tonight. He about to give away Dunkin'.
And the surprise. And
Check it out, and something else.
It's a great
oh my
account.
god. Get up
Well,
in
I
there.
just
Get
came.
up in there.
I just arrived home, so I just want to say hi and thank you for the stream. I wasn't
Oh,
there.
Venja. Oh, well, we'll do another one, buddy. We'll do another one.
Just saying hi, man.
Alright, guys. Well, we'll do it again soon, and thanks for watching. Love you, each and every one of you. Good luck with everything, all your pulls. We will catch you again soon. See you guys in the Dreamer Society Discord. Links are in the description.
Peace.